Corrode is being played in professional Valorant, and SEN have figured out the secret formula. It's mid. Against G2, these North American superstars battled over no man's land every single round. Bloodbath after bloodbath. The fighting never stopped. But is that really it? Whoever controls this space gets the win? Well, kinda. Let me show you. Now, if I died to this almost every round, I'd be pissed. But wouldn't it be cool if you could see and hear your opponent's rage when you land a nasty clip? Then you need Metal TV. Press a button and instantly save the last 15 seconds. But that's not all. By linking your Riot account, you can see clips that other people made of you. Who knows what you'll find? Funny reactions?
Wait. Defenders win.
Or you'll see what it's like to play against yourself. No other app has this feature. Sharing clips is also easy. All it takes is a single clip and you can share this link with anyone. Did your teammates steal your agent? Well, take clips of every lineup you do, send it to them, and show them how it's done. And now my favorite part is that you don't even have to think about clipping. Just turn on Valorant auto clipping, and after the match, Metal will have a library of highlights for you to watch. Just focus on the game and let Metal worry about saving your clips. So if you never want to lose your funniest moments with friends or just want to fuel my next breakdown, click my link in the description and get Metal TV for free today. Every download directly supports this channel. And now I wrote this breakdown back when Corrode first debuted. But even to this day, I know that this match is a wonderful demonstration about how this map should be played. And when this map came out, teams figured it out pretty fast. Sentinels being one of the first to get the gist. But there is a lot to unpack about its meta. Starting with Viper, I am confident that we're going to see her all over this map and in a couple different ways. If laid out properly, her toxic screen can cover 2 of the 3 major choke points on this map. And as long as it covers mid in either of these ways, it's perfect. But why is mid so... I'm getting there. Just look closer and you'll notice that mid branches into 2, kind of 3 different avenues that attackers can pressure. A link, window, and B link. But if the defense can manage to hold bottom mid, they can rotate fast and be ready to flood in or hold site from 3 different lanes. On B, you'll have people coming from link and elbow, and on A, you can hold a main from pocket, A link, and site. Corrode is basically just Ascent, but on mega steroids. Mid control is king, and that's what both teams' comps are built around. Viper's kit is able to cover every important choke and can single snake-bitedly stall and execute. Either Sova or Fade are fine, they both get scans, but I prefer Fade because some of these buildings are just stupid incredibly high. But Sova isn't bad either, because his drone can single dronedly cover the entirety of mid. Just make sure you have one of these guys, especially because the Odin is nuts on this map, even for controlling mid, not just spamming the plants. Then Vice is just a good global sentinel, you could pick Cypher too, or Chamber with his new buff, they're all pretty great. Omen is broken and needs a nerf, but the real difference comes down to the Yoru or Neon. And now the one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that if the defense don't have mid control, their rotation times can take almost 20 seconds from one site to the other. But because Yoru can Sensgate crash through spawn, he cuts that time down to like 5 seconds. And Neon can run and rotate super fast, right? That's why Sen chose her. Well, yes, but also no. Let me show you. For pistol round, Sen's plan is to split B faster than you've ever seen, while G2 are contesting mid in a 1-4. And look, their wall respects Sen's Neon pick. Because Neon has the ability to sprint, she can break natural timings that you have to account for. Normally, a wall back here would be a lot better as you can hold it instantly as the barriers fall, but not against this duelist. And now if Sen rush A, Vice can pop her thorns, then her flash, and the offense will have to retreat. G2 are ready. The round starts and Zekin zips around the corner. Now pause. That's the reason why Sen picked Neon. Now, it doesn't happen a lot this match, but I predict that because the offense have to come through this tight choke point, the defensives are going to start the round by just spamming this left side because it's closer, and the defenders literally cannot see attackers who scale against this wall. By spamming, the offense then have to wait it out, allowing the defenders to set up however they want. But Neon sprints can get around this corner relatively safely and tell her team what she's seeing. She is the best agent for mid control on this map.
Playing Corrode to start, and it's no surprise that it starts in mid-second. Going up quick.
Always a fast fight. Zekin might get pinged out by this dart though. And on opposite sides of the wall, it comes down. Zekken strikes first.
So behind that speed, Viper Wall, and Thorns for Link, G2 were cut off by this mid take. Valen burned his paranoia to try and stop this lightning fast push, was too late, and for some reason, Trent's recon didn't go off, and maybe it got stuck in the wall at a weird angle or something. But Jawgemo, did you just not have your teleport key bound? At what point did you want to get out? The arrow didn't scan, and you're not winning this duel full stunned. Especially when Nary Taunt cleared this part of the map. Now up a player in a dark cover and window, SEN aren't slowing down.
Sentinel's on the board early, but G2 are still posturing in this space, calling in the reinforcements. That'll be Jonas P supporting down low, but Zekken is on an absolute warpath. It's not ending anytime soon. G2 find a couple of kills on the other side, but again, there'll be Sentinels in control of the site.
Yeah, the trade's good from Zelsis. Everyone gets away into this site, and now...
And not only is Neon a really good agent on this map for taking mid, but Zekken is one of, if not the best Neon in the world. Instead of just running down on Trent, who got nearsighted by this Prowler, he skipped into this corner, got the info that Jonah P had a crossfire with Trent, waited for his teammates to get into position, and for Bang's paranoia to connect, and then slid into B-Link with his team close behind. The A-Link defenders were way late because of Zelsis' Thorn and Flash, which made Valen swing through Sen's Viper Wall to try and make a play. This execute was pieced together like a puzzle. And this is G2's map pick. That leaves Baby Bay? What year is this? Okay, well, Leaf is sick and Baby Bay standing in for them, but isn't he like 40 years old? Whatever. Okay, let's see what the old man's got.
Good from Zelsis. Everyone gets away into this site, and now Sentinels, whenever you're playing a post fight on B, you have so many angles to go for.
Bay. It's Baby Bay in a 1v3. VCTA player 1, more like.
He doesn't even have a name, Christy.
It's brutal. He already got his first kill in 1,072 days. It has been a drought for the rookie.
Don't know if we've ever had a 30-year-old rookie before.
And I don't know if we ever are again. It'll be Sentinel.
On G2's eco, SEN pushed mid again, but because G2 had their wall up in time, Zekken didn't feel safe pushing through against an army of classics. It's a good wall to use against a Neon if she can't outrun it and is forced to wait behind it or forced through like a monkey. But once it dropped, the gun's farmed. That brings us to G2's first full buy, where you guessed it, both teams are brawling mid in their 1-3-1s. But does Jonah P know that John QT has an outlaw?
How are you stopping Zekken from just running away with...
He doesn't! So the thing about A and B main on this map is that one is attacker side, one is defender. If you take a look at how the bio barriers are positioned, you'll notice that on B, the defender gets on the angle first, and on A, it's the attacker. If the opposite wants to gain an advantage, they shouldn't be able to just dry swing into the other. That's why Valen has started both rounds with this smoke in A main, to ruin the attacker's advantage when no one's actually there though. Regardless, it is Sen's bonus, and it's an outlaw that G2 did not see on Enrico. It just held A and spawn. So why not go for this unexpected peek? Now back in mid, the offense have used their speed and toxic screen to block off window and get into a link without getting seen.
Not gonna stop, actually. John QT running a bit away as well. Jawgemo fires back on the other side and gets some support from Trent. Trent still locked down inside of mid while Valen mows him down.
G2 used their closer up Viper Wall to isolate Neon from the rest of her team and crunched mid. Jaw cut narrate over the slip, Trent tried to recon for spam, but just swung through this extra smoke off his duelist instead, and Valen recognized that Neon could make it to A-Link instantly, so he blasted the Prowler, took a step back, and nearsighted this whole lane. This flash pushed the attackers back into Trent's recon and a crossfire between these two defenders. All who's left is Sen's IGL and his trusty outlaw. But because this map is so big, he can't really come from anywhere without revealing his position, despite there being so much time. He has to come from this half of the map, and I think Trent can hear him running.
Is double Viper Walls trying to control this space early on, so a lot of chaos to play through, whether that's going to be Jawgemo on flashes or Neon sliding. Right now, John QT has gone for the long walkabout, but Trent, even though he's low, is poised and ready on the angle.
Valen's low too, but there should be some easy trades to get here for G2.
And still a lot of territory to cover before you even recover the spike. Now the gas taken down rather low. QT sees the gun, but Trent will see him first. A 3K and G2 on the board.
Both teams are now on a full buy, but notice how many Phantoms SEN are buying. On a map like this, and with 4 controllers total in this game, there's going to be a lot of spamming, meaning this is the better rifle, and SEN's game plan reflects it. In their 1-3-1, of course they're fighting mid, while G2 are doing the same. I told you, mid on this map is like rubble on Lotus, this poison orb on Icebox, a lobby in Haven, or subscription to my Patreon. It's a necessity. But after going fast on both pistol round and the bonus, SEN are changing the tempo. Because as the round starts, Narrate lobs a haunt, it lands before Jawgemo can even run out of the top mid smoke, and he gets scanned. See, after freehanding a couple scans on rounds 1 and 2, Narrate saved this lineup for this round, because if SEN lose, they have to save next. He just put on a show that, I don't know any lineups, it's a new map. So that G2 wouldn't be looking at this all the way up here. This arch makes it impossible to spot. And this haunt has forced Jawgemo to teleport after getting spammed down to 32 HP. And now that he's gone, Jonah puts his wall down, and the attackers turn their attention towards a link. Zealous Prowlers, it faceplants for a second, but Zekin swings close behind and spams Valen. He's forced to retreat, teleports out of this one and done, paranoias while the offense Prowler, which forces out bangs. The defense have to retreat back to site, but SEN pause in the defensive smoke, Zekin flips up his fast lane, and Old Man Jenkins burns up the rest of his retinas. Sentinels feel like they're in a good spot, and don't have to rotate. It's similar to maps like Split or Ascent. If the offense have mid, the defense are stuck in a 2-3 or 3-2 setup. And after creating so much pressure towards A, Sentinels decide to wait since they've taken mid so early in the round. They have time to burn. And now G2 need info somewhere, but they're running double controllers. These big ass bubbles aren't going to tell you anything.
And wait for that reclear to come and try your best to punish it.
You can think of it kind of like an Ascent, where once you control mid, you can dabble back and forth, and Jawgemo, a human drone on low HP falls.
And that's the weakness with the double controller comp. You don't have the same info tools that a double initiator comp would offer, forcing you to take peeks like this. But at the same time, initiators don't have as good a stopping power or stall, so it just comes down to preference. But now that G2 are down a player, they still have to make a play, or statistically they'll get traded out. So while Zekin and Bang poke a bit deeper on A, this encourages Trent and Jonah to peek out from top mid, and they find Zelsis. But that makes John QT do some thinking. If Zelsis just saw Sova and Viper, and Zekin's fighting Omen and Vice, that means B is free. So as John starts his B lurk, he's telling his team to stop focusing on A, turn around and pinch these mid players. Narrate and Zekin walk out of link, but as Bang leaves, he places a dark cover blocking pocket, and now G2 really have no info.
Fight to determine everything. Two players
30
on
seconds
opposite
left.
sides of the wall. But how prepared will Sentinels be? That haunt is deep. It's not going to spot both players, but we'll see the one. Narrate and Zekin.
These walls are incredibly spammable. It's how the defense can dominate mid control early, but it's not a good spot for two players to tuck into. Now after those kills, send no B's clear, especially after the adventure John QT just went on. And because these two are so far away, I guess it's time to save. G2 are sick and tired of being pushed around and bullied in mid, and have brought back over Baby Bay in hopes that he can turn back the clock and show these youngsters how Valorant was played in the old days. But SEN only have two here. Are they going mid? The barriers fall, Zekin walls, Bang smokes, and Nary's haunt lands while the defense have to sit there and accept that they can't beat SEN's mid default. Now pause. I'm not sure when this video is being released, so maybe I'm late to the party. But didn't everyone predict that Odins would run rampant on this map? If G2 want to beat all this running around, why not just rip through this wall with an LMG so Zekin has a harder time crossing? He would be isolated, and Jawg could fight him. Maybe Zekin could path differently and get around it? Or maybe get to this box? But it could slow him down. Okay, back to the game. Now instead of fighting the default head-on, G2 have elected to re-clear the area once SEN's taken it and have made themselves comfortable. The trigger to this retake? Trent's drone. He sends it flying, but doesn't see anything. The defense disperse. Trent heading back to reinforce Jonah, and Valen sends out a dark cover to block A main. Jawgemo leaks out of top mid to hold the space, but still doesn't see anything. If SEN aren't here, they have to be A or B. From elbow, Jonah's jiggling and spots John. It's probably B. Baby Bay, it's B. Pop your thorns. What'd you say about Bumblebee? I hate Transformers. Please pop your thorns.
When do Sentinels want to pop? It'll be the orb for Narrate. Nightfall now ready, and here it comes. All of Sentinels into the mix. Zekin leading the charge as
Zekin made it through, but has to pause. His team is cut off by this Poison Orb, Thorns, Recon, and Snakebite. Narrate Prowlers wants to confirm Jonah's location for Zekin, and once the stall fades, Bang smokes Heaven so they can try again.
the two players approaching in from mid, and Sentinels not comfortably onto site just yet. Trent has made his way here. keep your eyes on him, but Narrate is already waiting for him. 2 kills, and the defense starts to fall apart from G2.
Because Jonah only had a stinger and Jawgemo whipped a flash at his head, Trent didn't have anyone watching his caboose. He was forced to gamble one side, but ended up getting his back blown out. But this flash really wasn't the issue. See, because rotation times take centuries between sites, we needed to see Jawgemo tell Valen, hey, pick up mid, I'm helping B, so that Bang wouldn't have to take this ridiculously long route, but instead could just hold mid from window. Because Jawgemo left Trent stranded and Valen's too late to help, G2 now have to bank on a miracle. They can't just save again. Sen's money will spiral out of control. So Valen peeks out of heaven while Zeus's plants, can't land the spam, and can't really find anything. But Zekin realizes that Jonah has a stinger, so they double swing him. And while all this is going on, notice how long it takes Baby Bay to clear all of mid on his own. There's just so many cubbies. That's why you need this map control. But now, he's finally here. G2 sub makes his way through B-Link, Valen gets one, and then, wait, 2 more? Where's my replay system? Then Zekin gets his, leaving us in a 1v1.
On for a clutch, but down to 15 HP. Valen just can't get it done.
G2 can't get a handle on mid and take their first timeout. Coach, what should we do? This Neon is running circles around us. Trent, I didn't want to stoop down to this level, but it's time. G2 were forced to save, meaning we didn't see the true adjustment right after the timeout. Sen just played super passive, let the defense peek into them, and eventually ran them over on A. That leads us to another full buy versus full buy, and G2's adjustment is literally on screen right now. The Odin. From top mid, Trent is going to rip through this wall, which should tear apart Zekin's health. But they've also moved Jawgemo to A short because he's come from top mid so often. This gun should put an end to Sen's reign in mid. The barriers fall and Zekin's eating bullets like a fat kid in a candy shop. Sen smoke for top mid and high haunt land, leading to them securing that piece of the map. But at what cost? Zekin has 2 HP. But G2 aren't done. Trent drops and combines a recon with Jog's flash, which gets shot because it was mistimed. Regardless, with these two moved up B main behind Vice's Rose, it's time to split B. But G2 have played these games before.
I said I played these games before!
So Jawgemo instantly teleports into spawn, Valen activates his from the shadows, and both are here to help.
But 4 already have rotated over with the double teleports. Paranoia now. The Sentinels wait to find their mark. Trent in a ridiculous position. Who's waiting for him? I don't think anyone. And now the site is getting mucky. It's getting yucky. That ultimate is down, and Trent is tearing them apart. 3 kills already, and with a classic, Jawgemo will trade him out. It's a 1-on-1 now.
The Sentinels execute was strong behind the smoke for heaven, Paranoia that flushed back sight, and Thorns that locked out Viper, but it was this sight smoke that saved Trent's life. This is why it is so important that you Omen players start towards mid so that you can smoke across the map for your team. That dark cover was so hard to clear that despite Grandpa Joe blinding him, Trent still got to. Then because Yoru flooded from heaven and Omen ran headfirst into this Viper ult to stop the plant, Trent got a third. And this sight smoke still provided him cover once he was out of bullets. Trades went down, which leaves these players in a 1 versus 1. But it's up to John QT to make the next move. He has to plant, so Jonah isn't moving until his opponent reveals his position. Before doing so, John QT circles around his ult, knowing Jonah could be anywhere, but eventually decides to bite the bullet, pick up the spike, and plant.
Buy a little bit deeper into the site. And ultimately, John has to be worried about every single angle. Left, right, up, back. Jonah's had so much time. John waiting. Backed in, here's a footstep, Jonah P takes him down.
The defense might have won last round, but it was costly. With only 1 survivor and consistent deaths piling up each round, G2 can't really afford a total full buy. But while they might not have weapons, they have 3 powerful ults. Plus G2 have finally found the key to locking down mid and are ready to let it rip again in their soon-to-be 1-3-1. While Zekin thinks he's in the Matrix and can dodge the bullets in Sen's own 1-3-1. But can he? The round starts and... Wait, Trent, why aren't you shooting your gun? Okay, well, Sen have mid again behind their smoke, haunt, and wall. But why is Trent spamming now? The whole point is that you want to make sure that the offense can't get through this choke so that your team can set up. Now, I think because Baby Bay wanted to put this shear down, maybe Trent didn't want his grandpa to get spammed through a smoke, but even that's a stretch. Look at how fast he put his trip down. Regardless, Trent has missed out on some potential spam and has only peppered the attackers. After securing mid, near right Prowler short again, Trent drones back in response, looking for a tag to pair with his Harness Fury, but can't can't find one. So Jawg ults to get one for him.
From Zelsis is
we go.
re-clear into mid.
Spotting these players out. Trent on pace. One misses and isn't finding a way to connect. This could be struggle city for G2.
Now, despite this being G2's map pick, I think they have their setup all mixed up. Toss the Odin to BabyBay, have Jawgemo ult so that Trent can use his big-ass laser, then BabyBay can use the Odin so he can spray at the same time while everyone is on edge or is running around trying to dodge this laser. Then, once the play is over, have BabyBay lay out his wall, and maybe add a Thorns to prevent the jump up or B-Link. And you guys stack A with Jonah's ult holding B. Or why not just wall and Thorns A and bring Omen over to mid so we can paranoia off Yoru's vision too. Mid control is that important that you should have most of your team here almost every round. But instead, BabyBay walked into the top mid smoke and died trying to spam because Zekken noticed which side he put his flower on. Regardless, Trent's only landed one laser beam, and as Jawg comes out of his ult, he and Valen are in a pickle. Do they fight A main or mid? Well, Sentinels know Viper's B and Sova's in spawn, so it's the perfect time to split A.
Big in this spot, stuck into the corner, groups towards main with his teammate. A good reposition.
There's still going to be players there. Jawgemo in trouble, has to teleport away. It's a 1v1. Valen, the walls are closing in around him, and he is down.
If you and your teammate are being pinched, you have to pick one side to fight together, just get out, or after Valen discovered Zelsis holding main with an op, why not flash him and run him down? He baited out the shot. Instead, Valen's down, Jawgemo's taking refuge in elbow, and Jonah P will be here in 1 to 2 business days.
Still with the position back towards elbow. Sentinels have to be prepared, though. They know Jaw was on this side of the map. That combo takes him down. 3 already for Zekken. Could we get another? It'll be Trent. Back into things.
Flank coming through.
The off is holding it. There's just no chance. Trent did so much in the last. But you can't swing into an op with an Odin.
Yeah, he has no way out here. Round is over. Sentinels.
In last round's post-plant, Sentinels did great to recognize that they don't need more space and that clearing out elbow would take too long. They instead held both ends of elbow and waited for G2 to come to them. Which brings us to their second timeout. And now what do we do, coach? The Odin sucks! Do we just FF? I do that in ranked all the time and it works. Dude, you didn't even use it last round. After their timeout, G2 were forced into a mega save, only buying a Frenzy and Ghost. Sen did the same thing and just played patient, waiting for G2 to come to them. The better gun should always trade out, so the defense have to take the offense off guard with either a stack or push. But now, it's another full buy, and we get to see just what G2 talked about in their timeout. They formed into a brand new 2-2-1, where Jonah is going to help Jawgemo get set up with his op on B. The defense must have noticed how Sen constantly have someone holding the wings, so they might be able to get an early first blood this way. And it's going to happen! Sen earn a 1-3-1. Zelsis has the op, and he's holding B. Think back to what I said. This wing is defender-sided. The defense gets on the line first. Plus, it's Jawgemo opping. He's one of the best in the business.
That's where Jaw's gonna like his chances.
Op duel here.
Ooh, but Celsius takes it easy around the corner.
Okay, that was just a nice shot. Normally, an attacker should lose this fight if they just peek it dry. Now, in the meantime, Trent was staring at the wall with his Odin while Sen feigned a mid default? You can hear him ripping it now, but it's too late. He could have tagged Omen. Sen's only smokes. Whatever, I'm so over these guys. The offense have the defense distracted in mid while they head to A. The only thing coming between Sen and a free sight is a seasoned vet. Does he have one more in him?
But now this opens up a re-hit late into A. Little pressure applied at mid, and here comes the execute.
Yeah, BabyBay's got to call in support, but already Zekken is flying at him. It is not comfortable to play with now.
Good reposition.
Waiting for his timing, maybe trying to get inside of this wall. How is BabyBay gonna play this? He's getting slid on, he's getting schmeeked on, he can't do anything. No, it's been a drought for a long...
Yeah, BabyBay just had no chance. Zekken's entry was perfect as he hopped around and tucked in a pocket, dodging Valen's bullets, all while nearsighted by his teammate. Then as Zekken waited for his teammates to get past the wall, Valen flashed for BabyBay, but Zekken flipped up and hid behind both layers of his fast lane. Then to top things off, Zekken's rally bolt broke up the crossfire that these two had in elbow. And now, if you predict that a Neon is about to swing you, you want to hold wider than normal. But I mean, come on, this dude hasn't played competitive Valorant in over 2 years. Let the old man die in peace. SEN then dismantle the Sheriff's last round, which brings us to the last full buy of the half. Now, yes, things look bleak, but if you can win pistol after ending the half down 3-9, your win rate goes up 33%. So stop FFing in my fucking rank games. So to ensure they win this round, G2 are again putting 3 players in mid and 1 on each wings, while SEN have completely given up on this part of the map. Every single round, they've done something in this space which should condition G2 to do something about it, leaving B weaker, which it has. The round starts with a different wall and smoke going up this time, and only Vice's flash going off to take B main. The defenders are intrigued by this new dark cover and toxic screen, but I'm sure John QT just laid it out without a second thought. But it's given SEN enough time to contact up and prepare their steel garden.
Bang could even get a little bit fun and go for some teleports into the site. We're gonna see. Doesn't look like G2 want to put up too much of a stop just yet. Jonah P's actually out there with a classic because he couldn't even shoot his gun. And now, Bang has ulted back up into spawn. No one's waiting for him. That's a couple of kills.
Zekken was able to beat out this poison orb and cleared all of sight just by bouncing around. This nonsense created a good enough distraction for Bang to teleport once on a site and another time into heaven. I mean, how can G2 hear him do that with all this going on? Then to get through the choke, Fade and Vice, Pollard, and Thorn Link got to, but Trench Drone has given G2 all the information they need to flood in with their steel garden. But they're all funneling through one choke and are already stalled by John's snakebite.
Now G2 can only approach in through mid. Bang with a shorty in hand, trying to stall out as long as possible. Nightfall to try and counter out this utility being thrown in from G2, and they haven't made any progress into the site.
It's retaking through one corridor, Chrissy. They have no way to get out. There's a crossfire, there's an op. This is brutal.
There's just nothing you can do. They put down a smoke on the left side to try and cut off this crossfire, and it's completely worthless. Sentinels take every single one down.
Man, Corrode is fun. I genuinely love this map. But is it better than Sunset? I broke down that map when it came out in this video. Give it a watch.